Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hard work feels good. I'm going to show you how to tackle firewood, chainsawing, and more while I share my skills with you. Join me in achieving small accomplishments as part of the bigger picture. It feels good. Give it a try. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hard work feels good. So here we are. I'm doing some service on the 25-ton CountyLine log splitter. We got to change the oil and we got to change the hydraulic fluid. So before we start, just want to go through some stuff that you need. So right off the jump, you need a oil pan to collect it. You're going to need some rags. You're going to need a container to put the fluid in. The oil, I go with synthetic 10W30. The other thing too is it takes about 20 ounces, maybe a little bit more, of oil. You're going to need a hydraulic fluid filter. I went to the local NAPA store. This was what matches up. It's 1551. It's the better filter. Pretty easy to take it off and put it back on. You're going to need an oil filter wrench, which goes over it, and as you turn it and take it off, it tightens it up. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver to take the clamp off on the hose so that you can drain out the oil in between the reservoir and the pump. You're going to need a filter to fill up oil and hydraulic fluid. Don't forget, you got red is for oil, white is for gas. You're going to need a crescent wrench. They're square nuts to take off the drain plug for the oil and for the hydraulic fluid. I recommend you get gloves because you're going to need 4 gallons of hydraulic fluid, and with the 4 gallons of hydraulic fluid, you don't get all that in the oil pan. So I fill it up, I put the nut back, and then I put the additional oil or hydraulic fluid in the milk jugs so I can dispose of it correctly. And then obviously you're going to need hydraulic fluid. This meets the specs. I got it from the NAPA store. Of course, it comes in 5 gallons. You only need 4 gallons. So you're going to have some left over. So those are the tools and the setups that you're going to need in order to do the maintenance. So give me a minute. Let me reposition some cameras, and then we'll get to it. All right, guys, we're back. Don't forget, it's a good habit to get into. Put cardboard down. You don't want to pollute the ground. I don't want to get oil everywhere. It's just not worth it. It makes it easy cleanup, easy to kneel on if you need to, so you're not getting wet or cold ground. Don't forget your oil pan. So this is the oil fill. This is the oil drain is right here. As I'm trying to bend down to look, this is the oil drain, oil fill. So right off the jump, before I even start, I wipe everything down. I clean it all up. You don't want any dirt in there at all. So I like to just clean it. You're gonna make a mess doing this. So you're gonna have to re-wipe it when you're done. But it's just a good habit to get into, to clean everything before you start really draining anything. You don't want dirt in there. That's the last thing you want. So right off the jump, take off the fill cap, and it also will tell you if you're good on oil, not good on oil. My oil is pretty clean, but I change the oil every season. I do an oil change. We're on a hill, just so you know. I've got it set up so it's pointing down, so it's easier to drain. Right now we're not level. It's obviously pointing down towards me. I want to get every oil out of the motor as much as I can. So when I pull the drain plug out, it'll get all the base, all the oil that's in the bottom here will come out. So that's really important. You want to get that sludge at the bottom. So I always set it up so it's not level and it's angled down. So that's why you see the oil coming out of the oil fill. Later on, when we go to fill it, we'll put it on. We'll make it level, and then we'll fill it. So I always clean the the dipstick. It'll tell you if you're full or low. Don't lose this. This is an important piece. You do not want to lose that. My next thing is the crescent wrench, so that you can get the nut off. I might have to get the other wrench. This is a different setup. I gotta get my other wrench, guys. Hang on 1 second, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I totally forgot. This is a 10 millimeter. So what I use is an extension because of the plate, and you know, just break it free. Like I said, I like to kind of go tight real quick, and then when you go loose, it comes right out. You see how to, this will, just want to get in a different position. This will drain oil. It's going to make a mess, but it'll go into the drain pan. Like I said, it's about 20 ounces. Don't lose the nut, the fill nut. And then it's just a matter of making sure that your nut is clean. That's important. Sometimes you can get a magnetic nut, which will pick up all the metals in there, and you can get an idea if, make sure your engine's running good. Don't lose your fill. That's really important. Your nut, because then you can't refill it, and it's just a matter of letting it drain out. And as you can see, the oil is not that dirty. It's got a little dirt to it, but it's only been used not that many hours. I didn't do much splitting last year, but we're gonna obviously be using it with this massive pile that I've got. So it's just a matter of letting it drain out. And I'm gonna actually tilt it down so that it comes out better. I'm gonna take the foot, bring it up, and we're gonna put a log, a little piece of a split wood underneath, so that it tilts it forward to drains out all the extra oil. So as that goes up, just gonna put a piece of wood down, and that should drain out the excess of oil. And now it's really flowing. Now it's flowing. So give it a minute to let it drain out. Just about done draining it out. What I do is I usually wipe the plate away. As you can see, you still get a little bit of oil coming out. Just to make sure that you get all the oil out, I make sure that this is definitely off, in the off position. And I'm just gonna gently pull the cord, and that helps just get the oil out of the cylinder that's in there, so that we get everything out. And as you can see, there's a little bit more came out. Just wipe that away. And then I'm going to do one all the way down to the ground just to get the last little bit out. There's not much left really coming out. Do one little pull just to get that last little bit out. Alright guys, so then I'll stand it back up. Put the foot back down, make sure that's locked in place. And then guys, I always take my my plug, a screw for it. Wipe it clean. And I always wipe this clean. Make sure the threads are clean. You don't want to cause any kind of problem with it. Then you're going to do it before you start tightening it down with the ratchet. Take again your 10mm and just I go hand tight and then a little bit. From there, I just like to clean it all off, make sure everything is clean. I still leave the oil pan because we got to fill up the oil. Just remember, a quick tip I do, red funnels for oils, clear ones are for gas. Make sure that your funnel's clean. Gonna put it in here and use it to help fill because it's just an impossible angle with these little small engines. But I've got my 10W30, which is the recommended oil. Like I said, it takes about 20 ounces. I have a little bit left from another engine that I did an oil change on, so we'll just to use this up, and then we'll break into a new one. So, and then I just fill it up accordingly, and don't forget you have your fill stick. Whoop. Make sure your fill stick is clean. It was clean until I dropped it. And you have your fill accordingly. And I always leave my oil pan just in case if you make a mess. And like I said, it takes about 20 ounces. Okay, even though I know that wasn't 20 ounces, that was like about 16. I'm still gonna just check it. That's just me. I'm always cautious. I don't want to overfill these. Just check it real quick. Make sure that it's we're still in good shape. Yep, we could put a little bit more in there. It's not completely full. And it is kind of hard to see the oil because it's so new and clean. But just put a little bit. I'm going to put about 2 ounces in there. So just got to watch this. Let's see, where am I at? One more little swig. Let that sit for a second. Okay. So I'm not exactly level right now. I'm going to level this off in a second and then check it again. All right, so I'm just going to set this up so that it's level for a height so that I can get an accurate reading on the oil. Some of them come with a level. I've got to get my level and just check it so that I know. But that is just under 20 ounces that we put inside there. So I'll check it now. If in the event you overfill, it's easy. You could just drain it out. You could put a straw in there and just kind of use your finger and take some oil out. But right now, that's less than 20 ounces. Okay, I put the level on, made sure it was level, which is important. So when I take the fill off, it's good. It's up to, it's full. I'm just gonna redo it because I was moving it. I just want to get an accurate reading, and it's perfect. The oil's perfect. So now I'm just gonna take And hold on, I just gotta get the cap back on. Okay, just give it one more clean wipe. Move the oil out of the way, which we're gonna put in those milk jugs to get rid of it. So every little bit of oil that you spill, it just attracts the dirt. So try to clean up as best you can. That's what I do. You know, as you're splitting, it's dirty. You're in the dirt. You're in, you know, you get the dust, etc. So it's not a bad thing to just kind of wipe it down. But now that I'm done there, I'm just gonna start it up, let it run for a second or two. Just want to make sure that the oil is at a good level. I flip the switch on, my choke, I turn on, my fuel's on, my throttle's up. You know, I give it just a little bit of a pull just to get the kind of the oil in there a little bit, and then I'll give it a pull. I'm gonna let it run for a few minutes, and then we're gonna check the oil to make sure that it's good. If we need to top it off, I'll top it off. It's running now for a few minutes. It's warmed up. I'm gonna shut it down. And then I'm just gonna check the oil to make sure that it's I've been watching it, that there's no leaks, which there's no leaks, nothing. Just be careful because it's, you know, the engine's warm now. Just gonna check the oil again real quick, just to make sure that we're filled up, we're good. It's perfect. So we're in good shape. So that's how you do an oil change on it. Could also check the spark plug, check the air filter. The spark plug I know is good. I changed that out. The air filter, pretty easy. Take the butterfly nut off, comes down to the filter, take the next butterfly nut off. And just be careful of the muffler, because the muffler is hot. Just take the air filter off and just make sure that it's in good shape. Filter inside is in good shape. Got a little dust over here, but inside the filter is in good shape. I changed this filter not too long ago, actually. You know, because I'm running it, it's always dusty and etc. out here. I try to change the filter twice a year instead of, and same thing with the spark plug. Instead of running and changing it when I do an oil change. Wing nut on, just make sure it's snug, and that's it. Give us a few minutes. I'm gonna get to. We're gonna change the hydraulic fluid next. All right, guys. Welcome back. We just finished the oil change. We can make sure the oil was good. Now we're gonna do the hydraulic fluid. So as I suggest, get a glove. It's gonna get a little messy. You got your oil pan. The drain nut is right here, basically right in the middle of it. Like I said, it's gonna take 4 gallons to drain out. So what I'd always do, I'm just gonna take this out for a second. Just gonna wipe this. I like to wipe everything to make sure that it's 100% clean. I do not want dirt in any of the oil systems. Hydraulic fluid, oil, gas. I'm always very conscientious about that. I think it's important. Sometimes I do a little bit of an overkill, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Like I said, I use a crescent wrench. Kind of a little bit of a pain with a glove on, but I use a crescent wrench. Alright guys, one other thing too, before we start actually draining, as I've loosened that nut up, this is the fill nut and the blow off relief nut. So this will, if builds up with too much pressure, there's a little hole on this and it blows off. I just like to clean everything before I start doing anything. I'll show you the hole. Makes it a little difficult with the gloves on, but this is the fill stick. As you can see, there's a hole in here. There's a hole, so if it ever is not level or it builds up too much pressure, it won't blow the pump, and it's the relief of it. Again, I just like to clean everything. Don't lose this, obviously. Make sure you put it in a safe, clean spot while you're doing the maintenance. Alright, so now that I've got that open, it'll make the oil fill out, the hydraulic fluid drain quicker. So now I'm going to release the plug and I'm going to let the fluid go. See how it just flows nicely? Just keep an eye on it because it's going to flow quick. And like I said, there's 4 gallons, so it goes pretty quick. It's close to the top. It makes it easier. I don't go all the way to the top on the oil pan just because it's a pain. And it's a little bit difficult to maneuver when you got a full pan. And of course you get a little oil on the glove and you can't get it. Got it. Okay, so I'm just going to take my oil and pour it right into my milk jug. This is makes it a little bit easier. It's a little bit more time consuming doing it this way, but it is easier, especially when you go to dispose of it. You can take it some of your local dumps, transfer stations, they'll take it. Some people charge to get rid of it. Luckily my dump, they don't charge, they'll take it. And it does make life a little easier with a funnel. And it looks like I guessed pretty good. That's about 1 gallon. So we got 3 more gallons to go. We can let this sit off to the side. Go back and we'll get another tray of it. Hydraulic fluid looks pretty clean actually. I haven't changed it since last year. Looks pretty clean, but it's good habit. Make sure you're always changing it out every year. It just prolongs the machine, prolongs everything. All right. Container, and we'll fill this one up. Like I said, guys, I know it's time consuming, but this is the easiest way that I've found to do it. I'm sure if you take it to somebody, they're going to charge you, I don't know how much to do it. I know the oil's not that expensive. The hydraulic fluid, the 5 gallons, it ran me about $100 at the local NAPA store. If you always, if you get the emails, you get stuff off. I got 20% off. So I took advantage of that. I don't know how much they would charge you to do the maintenance. And obviously all you're doing is dropping it off to them and they do it. And that is the easier way to do it. You know me, hard work, it feels good. I'd rather do it myself. Save a couple dollars. And the other thing too, guys, you want to check and see if there's any kind of water in the oil. In the hydraulic fluid, that's important. You always got to make sure your connections are good and tight, and that's important. Make sure you always put the caps on. I've had some bad experiences doing this where the The oil is spilled, and it makes for a messy cleanup. Alright guys, I'm back. I got my jack. I'm just going to put it underneath and just kind of raise it up just to get that little bit that's sitting in the corner. Just to get every little bit of fluid out. Alright, so that side's good, so to speak. Let's get the, I'm going to jack up the other side. And just see, just to make sure that it's all out of there. As you can see, guys, just jacking it up a little bit. It's getting that a little extra. It's in the corners. Just trying to be as thorough as I can so that I always have clean hydraulic fluid. Just let that sit for a little bit. Let that drain. Alright guys, we're back. We're doing the oil filter again. You know, here's the filter. It's from the NAPA store. It's a 1551 oil filter. Comes like this, sealed. We're gonna take the old filter off. I use this, and it comes right off. Dump out the excessive oil in there. Open this up. Do is take some of the oil and lubricate this just a little bit so that it makes a good seal. 1, 2. When you go to take it off, it's easy to take it off, so you're not struggling to get it off. As we all know, we've been there. We've all been there trying to get oil filters off, and they won't come off. Push that off to the side. And this one we just thread on. My hands are full of oil, of course. Doesn't make it easy to get it on. Just trying to get it to line up. You got hand tight, and then a little bit more, and that should be good. You don't want to go too tight, just snug it up. And that's it for doing an oil filter. Alright guys, once again, like I said, now we're going to fill up the hydraulic fluid. You know, we went through the motions of draining it. We got all the drain plugs in. We changed out the filter, which is important. So went to the local NAPA store, got this. It's 5 gallons. We only need 4, but pretty straightforward. You pull this up and out if I can get it, and it didn't come out. It's easier using a pair of pliers than it is using your fingers, but it'll make it easier pouring it when you go to pour it into the funnel. It's like having an additional funnel. So it's supposed to take 4 gallons. As you can see, this stuff is super clear. Alright guys, we're just quickly going to check. I don't think I put 4 gallons in there, but obviously got your dipstick. Just want to put it in. I just want to see if I'm getting close. still got a bit to go. All right. All right, guys, I just topped it off. Just check it again. It's hard to see it, but it's all the way up to, you know, to being full. And you just want to run it so that you can get the air out. Again, I like to wipe everything down. I know being clean is the way to go. But, so basically, just gotta run it, and then we'll check it one more time, make sure that it's good. That's the key. So I'll just turn it on. I got the choke on. And I checked all the connections. I checked everything. Everything seems to be good. Nothing's leaking. Check the oil filter real quick. I don't see anything. Or I should say the hydraulic filter. I know I keep calling it an oil filter, but it's on. It's good. So we'll give it a run. Let it run for a few minutes, and then we'll check everything to make sure. Make sure that you're on. Choke is on. Fuel's on. Just give it a quick. Because I drained all the lines and it was empty on fluid, I could see the fluid getting filled back up in the lines. We'll let it go for a couple of minutes, and then we'll send the wedge down, and then we're going to check the fluid one more time just to make sure that we're good. Alright, so now that I ran it, let it warmed up a little bit, just going to check the connections just to make sure that they're good. Nothing's leaking. I don't see anything leaking. Everything seems to be good. So we'll check the fluid one more time just to make sure that it's good. And just so you know, because I drained all the hoses, so you could see the fluid had some air in there. So it definitely went down. I guarantee it went down. And this stuff's really hard to see because it is so clean. The hydraulic fluid is basically clear, so to really check where it is hard. Yeah, it went down, so it was all the way up, and it's so it needs a little bit more. So I'll go back to filling it back up again. Yep. So now we're good. And then what I'll do is I'll run it, do a little bit of splitting, and then I'll check it one more time. Same thing with the oil, so that everything is just to make sure that we're topped off right. Like I said, there's also that drain, the overflow. I try to set it up so it's not blowing if you are overfilled or etc. Try to set it up so it doesn't blow it at the motor. Alright, so my overflow right there, so it's going to blow it this way. Just like to keep it tight. Make sure it's pressurized the system. So that's it, guys. That's a pretty much a full maintenance on it. All the lines were drained, all of them refilled, new hydraulic fluid, new oil. The filter's still good. I changed that a couple months ago. Same thing with the spark plug. It's fine. So now it's just a matter of getting to work. This is good stuff. Clearly this takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort, but it does pay off in the long run. I saved myself quite a bit of money doing it myself. I know it's done right. It's all part of the hard work. Feels good. So give it a try, guys. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. It all helps me bring more videos to you. Until next time, keep up the hard work. Alright guys, just wanted to run it real quick. After doing all the maintenance to it, seems to be good. There's no leaks. Everything's good, guys. And that's a wrap, guys. Hard work feels good. Give it a try.